Do you ever feel bogged down and overwhelmed with advice?
We are living in a time where good tips, tricks, and hacks have never been more abundant.
From Facebook to podcasts, mentors to 6-week courses, it seems like everywhere we look now, somebody is telling us what to avoid or how to improve.
So where do you start?
We thought we would start with taking some advice, not giving out more.
We're going to road test just a few of the world's ideas and suggestions, seeing how easy they are to put into practice, and we'll meet a few experts along the way.
This is Advice Takers and Habit Makers.
Awesome. Hello, good evening. Hello, and we're here with
Good evening.
the lovely, amazing Jen, and we're going to chat to her in just a few minutes. But first of all, we're thinking back to our previous episode, and we set ourselves a challenge. Do you remember what it was, Sarah?
Yes, we were going to look at recreational learning. So things that you can teach yourself that aren't related to any other study or professional work that you're doing, things that you just feel like learning about or getting skilled up in just for the sake of it, just for the sheer fun of it.
Did you have fun with it?
I did. I taught myself Hawaiian, a little bit of Hawaiian, so that was quite cool. And I did an environmental design course just for the sake of it. That was about a 3-week course. And I think for me, the biggest thing was just knowing that it wasn't, essential to anything else. I could just dip in and out of it. I wasn't going to be tested on it. Nobody cared if I was doing it or not. It was just fun. So I really, really enjoyed it. How did you go?
Yeah, I did. What did I do? I did a bit of Spanish, and that it tanked because there's this app that you can do, and it was like you had to pick whether it was a girl or boy, and they just looked like they looked really androgynous. Like, that's a big word, isn't it? But they didn't look like male or female, so I kept getting it wrong. So then I got really frustrated. So then I did, I got myself some rollerblades, and I'm kind of going okay. But the first time I bought them, I bought the wrong size online. So now I've bought really big ones. So I'm going to do a bit more rollerblading. And Jen will be excited about this one, or maybe not. But I got a herbalism course online. Like, it cost me $24. $24 for a course. So I'm going to learn that. So that is kind of me at the moment.
Great. Yeah.
So did you find the same benefits in terms of just learning for the sake of it? Did you feel like it was kind of a bit of a release just to pursue stuff and no other agenda?
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been doing my remedial massage course, and that's kind of been, there has been a bit of an agenda to it, but I didn't go into it initially for that. But yeah, it's a bit of fun getting out your rollerblades, and the Spanish thing didn't work, but it's a bit of fun. And I did do a bit of research. This is what I found. Would you like to hear it?
Of course.
This is about learning and kind of that whole idea of lifelong learning. It's really good for our stress. So it helps with our stress. It's good for our memory. Makes us open and curious. There you go.
Yes.
Good for motivation and human flourishing. Some big words for us tonight. And intellectual humility, increases positivity, and I can keep going on. It's good for your brain cells and releasing dopamine and lots more stuff like that. So really is, once we learn something, it really is important, and it's really good for our health and, wellness, and just benefits us overall as well. So yeah, it's kind of exciting to do as well. As long as you like the topics that you're doing and what you're learning and why and everything like that. So, yeah.
It's good for confidence and self-esteem, just to add to the list that you put there. And I think it's also something that it's just an extra feather in your cap in a way. If somebody says, what have you been up to? and you say, oh, look, I've just been watching a lot of Netflix and eating cheesels in my track pants, then
nothing wrong with that.
You know, that's, well, look, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I think it's just, it can sort of bond you with people as well. And, you know, I've studied Spanish in the past as well. So as soon as you said I've studied Spanish, and I was like, oh, yes, I remember when I did it as well. And it's just kind of a bit of a social glue, you know, it just adds something extra to who you are and what you can tell people about as well.
Yeah, exactly. And something
opinion.
else, it's really good. Here you go. Here's some more stuff. Useless facts for you. It's really good to have fun. Seek laughter in what you're learning. Seek laughter, laugh at yourself, be spontaneous, and make work fun. There you go.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
I reckon this is probably a really good time for us to introduce Genevieve, who is an amazing expert tonight. Jen is, I'll tell you a little bit about her, Sarah, because I don't think you two have probably met. Have you met?
No, we haven't. We haven't met.
You have now, so that's awesome. Jen is an amazing mum of 2 kids. She's a naturopath of over 18 years. Imagine that. That's a long time to be doing.
That's a very long time.
One thing, but she's added other stuff to her resume as she's gone along. She's also and this I got from your website, Jen. So you can correct it after if if I get anything wrong, or you can correct the website after. Accredited member of the Australian Traditional Medicine Society. That's a mouthful. And Natural Herbalist Association of Australia. And she supports all people with natural remedies for health. She's amazing with kids, with neurological disorders, women in pregnancy, and also people who are looking for natural immunity. She's also an all-round fun person and a lifelong learner, and always wanting to better herself. So that's her in a nutshell. But I'm sure she can tell us a bit more about herself. But Sarah, I'm going to let you, because you don't know Jen so well, but I am getting to know her quite a bit. I'll let you do more of the questions, if that's okay.
All right, sure. Well, of course, in this context, I'm interested in your lifelong learning. And I can only imagine over the past sort of nearly 2 decades that you wouldn't have stopped in your pursuit of knowledge and building your immense wisdom, especially in such an inspiring space. I can imagine your work's really rewarding. So tell me, if we're just thinking for the sake of this conversation about recreational learning, things that just, you know, take your fancy and may or may not benefit your work. Tell me about the kind of things that you get involved in. What attracts you and gets you interested and gets the juices flowing?
Well, I'm doing a spiritual development course at the moment. I did one last year with a different lady, which was, I think it was like a 8 or a 12-week one with a friend of mine. And then I'm doing this with other friends, and it's just one Sunday a month. And we actually did this Sunday we did our first Zoom one, because we were meant to do a face-to-face. I think it was in June or July, but obviously it was canned because of COVID. And then, so this was the Sunday we were supposed to do. So, it was really interesting. We did a meditation. You know, she taught us about healing people's houses, all of that kind of stuff that we can do. It's with a lady called Marie Spencer Rowland, and she practices in Kellyville, so she's nice and local. But this one was on Zoom because there was quite a few of us. So it was great. So we did that, and you know, of course, we were all talking everything COVID, and you know, all about the universe. And she actually asked me to do. On Saturday, she did like a meditation thing that was like a bit of a healing thing for the planet with some of her mentors and other people. So I couldn't do that though, because I was working on Saturday. But so it's always nice to kind of heal the planet and feel like we can all have a little part in, you know, putting a bit of positivity into the world when there's so much negativity obviously going on through media and fear and everything, and we're trying to combat that fear as best as we can. So yeah.
So tell me about the other things that you've experimented with or got stuck into over the years. Things, I suppose, like you know, that I don't know, physical things and mental things and recreational things. What kind of things do you like to get into?
Yeah, well, I love soccer. I had a hip replacement in February, so since my hip replacement, I haven't played soccer for a little bit. I was really hoping to get back into summer soccer, but obviously now, you know, things aren't opening up anytime soon. So I'm not sure if, you know, that's usually starts about October. So I guess we'll see what happens and if that goes ahead at all, or if not. And then, like I like to bike ride. So went for a bike ride with my son today on the M7 track. I wanted to go one way, he wanted to go a different way. So, you know, we went his way, of course, because he's 10 and, you know, the 10-year-olds win. And then it was like straight uphill. And so he got, you know, exhausted pretty early on in. But it was hilarious because there was this kingfisher and he was obviously waiting to swoop us. But Keanu was like really interested in him. He was like, oh, Mum, he's just like sitting there talking to us. And he went up like really close to him because he was a bit in front of me. And I'm like thinking in my head, is he going to like swoop him? But he didn't care about him at all. He obviously just went, I swoop the mum, I don't swoop the baby. So he didn't swoop my son. So that was pretty funny. So he swooped me and they just flap their wings and whack themselves into your helmet. So they never actually cut you. My eldest he called it a blood hole when he got, you know, whacked in the head by one, but that was, he didn't have a helmet on. So generally when we've got our helmets on, they, you know, just kind of whack their wings into you and they don't actually cut you at all. But he didn't even cry when he got his blood hole. Have I got a blood hole? Yes.
Yeah. The fewer the blood holes, the better, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it was just interesting coming up, watching him, you know, that it was like squawking. I was like, it's trying to warn you to stay away from its baby, but he was just like went right up to it and it didn't sweep him at all, which was good. So yeah.
So tell me, in terms of, you know, the people around you that have either taken up their own hobbies or followed your advice or encouragement to do things, what have you seen work for other people? What's some of the most interesting things that people around you do?
Well, I've always been a big meditator, so I'm always like encouraging people to do more meditation, and people are like, oh, but I can't meditate. And I'm like, you don't need to be like a professional to start something. You just start it, and you don't need to be like Zen level when you start. So you just go in, and I just tell people to go onto YouTube, type in whatever they want to focus on. Like at the moment, I'm doing lots of protection meditations, like just, you know, protecting me, protecting my boys, all of that kind of stuff. So just focusing on those and just guided meditations on YouTube. So it's really easy. You know, if you've got 10 minutes or 20 minutes or, you know, whatever you've got, I usually try and get about a half an hour one in every day. And you just do that. So that's just like another way to kind of raise your vibrations and, you know, help us raise above all the negativity in the world that's going on right now. So yeah, most people do enjoy doing that. I obviously did your 21-day challenge where we had to do exercise, reading, meditation, and visualization. There was a few. There was like
the miracle morning.
The miracle morning.
Was awesome.
I mean, I already would meditate and exercise most mornings, so I just incorporated the reading in as well, and now I'm really enjoying that. So I just read for about 20 minutes. So I really like spiritual development and kind of self-help and all of those kind of books, and just like, so I've always got some Louise Hay or just you know, different kind of ones to kind of motivate yourself and push yourself, and just learning, you know, different techniques and from different psychologists and psychiatrists, just interesting things to kind of learn and push yourself in certain ways. So yeah, it's always good.
In terms of your business, you know, and I know a little bit about what you do. what sorts of things have you added into that? Because I know you've done like the GAPS training and, you know, herbalism, and obviously you didn't, I don't know, but obviously you didn't start with that. You've also done massage training, like you've done lots and lots of things, you know, and incorporated them. Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. So I'm a GAPS practitioner as well, and that came about because I asked on a naturopathic group about, I had a patient with a really bad gut issue, and lots of people recommended the GAPS diet for her, and I did that with her. And then, you know, obviously with meeting Natasha Campbell-McBride at the Mind Forum, she came to Australia, must have been about maybe 6 or 7 years ago now, and she was really amazing to meet, and I got her to sign my book. And then I did her training, which she's just hilarious because she has this really thick Russian accent, and she talks about the cows, and we get our milk from the Frankenstein cows, not the cows where we should get our milk from. So she talks about the Jersey cows as opposed to the ones that we should be getting our milk from. So yeah, she's just she's quite an interesting woman, and she's got a brilliant story about recovering her child from autism through the diet and through other therapies. So that's always good, and it's great to get families in clinic that understand that autism isn't some big scary thing. It's just to do with changes in the digestive system, and once you recover the digestive system, you can recover a lot of kids from autism. It's always great to see those results, and obviously to help those kids to eat a big variety of food, and put on weight if they're super underweight, or help them lose weight if they've got too much weight on them, depending on which direction they need to go. So just to kind of, maximize their health as in as many ways as you can. So, and then I do live blood. So I take people's blood and look at it under the microscope. So that's always
fun?
Interesting.
Yeah, would you say
I love
fun? Okay.
I would, I love taking people's blood, and it's interesting because you can see things like candida, you can see infections, like if people have a bacterial or viral infection. I've seen an interesting thing. I saw a green cell in a child who was exposed to someone who'd recently had the COVID vaccine. And so they're talking about these spike proteins and stuff that can affect people. And she was affected in regards to her hormones, and so was her mother. So they'd been around a family member who'd recently had the vaccine. So it's just interesting to see that in the blood. And then, if people live in a moldy house, you can often see mold in the blood as well, which is always interesting if they've got like respiratory issues or allergies or neurological conditions. Then you can kind of say, well, it could be coming from your house, and then you need to look at where's the mold coming from, test your house for mold, test yourself for a gene that means you're being affected by the mold. So you can look at all that kind of stuff. So
Wow. There's so much information in there. It's amazing. Sarah, your turn.
Yes. I've got
Sorry,
one
I just took over then.
Yeah, of course. So what kind of things would you like to try out in the future? Things that you would like to explore just for yourself?
Well, it was really interesting when you were both talking about languages before. Years and years ago, I started learning French, which, I wasn't very good at. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe because I didn't really have anyone to practice on. So definitely I'd like to explore that again. And I did a lot of pottery at school, and then I did a pottery course, I don't know, it must have been like 10 or 15 years ago, and I'd really like to do that again. I'd love to make pottery, so I'd love to just go back to doing that as a bit of a hobby, and definitely more gardening. You can never have too much gardening. So
I agree, definitely. All right. Well, that's all my questions, Larissa.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking on what Jen was saying then. I mean, basically the language you could start learning now. I mean, technically, if you wanted to. I mean, we are like in lockdown, but you could do it. We don't have a whole lot to do. There's not much at all to do, which is why I tried my hand and dismally failed at Spanish. And Sarah, did you dismally fail at Hawaiian, or were you okay?
I was all right, but I didn't really, I mean, I know that those apps generally try and encourage you to get better and better, and obviously the levels get harder and harder and you learn more complexity in the language. And
unless you get frustrated with it like I do.
I just kind of paced myself. I thought, well, if I learn one word a week, there's no harm in that. Or I learn 3 words in 5 minutes. I didn't really stick to it, admittedly, in a very consistent, routine, repetitive, I'm going to master this in 15 days type way. But I thought, there's nothing wrong with that. No, I'm not setting any expectations or agenda for myself. I can dip in and out when I want to, and not get sucked in, I suppose, to the pressure of committing to something on an ongoing basis. So I don't think I failed, but it wasn't something that I expected a lot out from myself.
You didn't expect much
in doing
from
either.
It. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
isn't that the point? Isn't that
that's true?
That
well,
must
if
be
you're
part
having
of
fun,
it, just not.
Yeah. But
definitely.
so those you can do online, but the pottery, I don't know. That might
that
be
wouldn't
hard.
be until lockdown's over. There wouldn't be a lot of opportunities to take up pottery at this point in time. So
I reckon a lot of people will probably try and sell courses and stuff on it, though. It could be like,
yes.
You never know if you get that bored.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be.
I've
It
always
could be a
wanted
bit
to
of
do
fun.
pottery.
Yeah,
pottery and
There you go.
silversmithing. I've always wanted to do those.
Oh,
They're on the list.
Jewelry making. You could do something like that. Or card making is fun.
Yeah, that's always
you're both Sarah's like looking at me like,
No, I'm serious. I would definitely be doing jewelry making if it wasn't so expensive. Like buying silver is not something you probably want to do in lockdown when your income's a little below par. But I mean, it's something that I want to do in the future for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And another fun adventurous thing that we do is I have a friend and she's really into doing these retreats where you go like trekking in the snow in your like crop top and shorts and stuff.
Oh my god,
that's what you were telling us about.
So I've been on one of them with her. It was really funny because she was telling me all about it, and then I went and checked it out, and then I did a meditation that morning, and my meditation was like, you need to buy tickets like now. And then I messaged her and said, my meditation told me I need to buy tickets, so I bought them. And then said I wanted to be in a room with her, but then she didn't buy her. She's like, oh no, I'm going to buy them at the end of the month or the beginning of next month, or what. She had a date. Anyway, so after I bought mine, she's like, oh, I better buy them. And then within like a day or two, they sold out. So it was like, my meditation was like, buy them now, otherwise they're going to sell out, kind of thing. So yeah, but that was great. And we swam. So we did went into the ice water in the snow, in our swimmers, and it was like, crazy cold. But then the next day we went trekking and we were meant to have a nice swim, but I was like too cold from trekking in the snow in singlet tops and shorts and stuff. And then the following day we actually just went straight to the snow, and then we slid down this rock into the water. And I was actually fine that day because there hadn't been any prep leading up to it. It was just like go straight in. So there was no kind of talking yourself out mentally about it. So then that was actually probably the easiest one. So yeah.
That sounds like heaps of fun. Sarah and I have been talking about doing a retreat, which is no longer happening because it's supposed to be in September. So that killed that. But what do you reckon, Sarah? I think that might be too bold for us.
Snow.
I think you're a bit too fun for us, Jen.
Yeah. Too much.
I'm not sure ice and snow would be.
I could buy some of those big tubs, and we could get ice from, because I went to another one with just a day retreat, and we put the ice and the water in the buckets and just hopped in there. So that was quite nice. So yeah.
Sarah's like
quite nice.
You only go for
I'll take
3 minutes.
For it, Jen.
It's just like a moment of 3 minutes. It's not like a forever thing. So you don't feel it for too long. So
she might have to warm up to that.
Yeah.
I'm into all different things. Since I turned, over 40, we won't go there. Since I'm over 40, I'm into like I'm like, Aaron, I want to go and do some shooting and, not bad, like a rifle range or something, like all this stuff. And he's like, he's
there's
like, different sides.
There's a rifle range. I think it's St. Mary's.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I bet it's expensive.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Like a friend of mine has a gun and bullets and stuff, but my grandfather used to have guns on the farm, and he used to keep the bullets in one place and the gun in another. So the gun was always unloaded. Like to shoot, obviously, if a cow fell in a hole and broke its leg, or if a horse broke its leg, or, whatever happened, or a sheep, you have to have a gun on the farm. Like a friend of mine, he goes to one, I'm pretty sure it's at St. Mary's. So we should definitely go. I mean, it could be open over COVID. Who knows? Like golf courses are like, it's really random, but yeah.
Actually, I heard that someone said to me they've gone. We're so way off topic, but they said they were going for golf. I'm like, what?
I love golf. It's my new thing. Like I've just had a friend in the last couple of years, and we've started playing golf together. And a friend of mine was telling me her husband plays golf every Saturday and Sunday, and I'm like, golf? I'm like, is it open? She was like, yeah, the golf course. So I'm like, oh well. And I guess it's usually one or two people, normally not in massive groups. And then, you're a long way from the person in front of you and behind you. You're well and truly socially distanced. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, putt. I'm not even good at that. So
I'm not either.
But
I've done putt quite a few times, but I'm terrible at it. Yeah. So that's not a skill I can say I've developed in any way. But it's still fun.
Yeah.
We'll go jump on trampolines, which is just what you want to do after you've had kids. But it's still fun. It's good to be fun, even though I won't say it about you guys, but I'm getting old. So it's good to be fun. But
you're not old.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'll try and convince myself of that. But thank you so much for joining us, Jen.
That's
just
right,
for a bit of a chat. Sarah's going to tell us, and you might even be interested in our topic for next time. We'll tell you what our next topic is going to be on. Sarah, you're going to tell us, because my mind is like a sieve at the moment.
Firstly, tell me, how many minutes have we got left? How are we doing for
We've
time?
got like 8 minutes.
Oh, perfect. All right. So I've been in my studies studying mental fitness a lot. I've just written a huge assignment on mental fitness. And so I thought it would be a timely suggestion, given that my brain is full of mental fitness study at the moment, and we are in lockdown, of course, to look at trying out those those brain gym and brain exercise apps, and kind of making a habit of doing that, because I've certainly noticed through speaking to yourself, Larissa, and other friends, people who have study to do at the moment, or who are keeping themselves mentally fit, are certainly faring a lot better at the moment than perhaps other people who are feeling the absence of normal activity or work or whatever they'd be doing otherwise. So I thought this would be a good thing for us to do, just to see if we do feel that those those apps or those sites that do give you those mental puzzles make us feel like we're a bit more switched on, and we're feeling less like that brain fog is really getting to us. I suppose
we might
that's
challenge all our listeners
next
to do that.
Challenge.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, I'll look forward to it. I don't know.
Very good.
I'm not very good at like that kind of thing, like Sudoku or puzzles or anything like that, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, look, it's not a matter of being good. That's what we've established.
Start small.
Here.
That's a good
It can
tip.
be terrible. And
start small with
go.
100-piece puzzle or something like that. No, it's all good. It'll be awesome. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Jen.
That's right. No
or I shouldn't say tonight, because people might listen in the daytime or whatever. Thank you for joining us.
There's the time where it's dark outside.
It is dark. Yes. Well, and the people listening
an artificial
to our listening to this and watching it on our YouTube channel, because we've got one of them, which is awesome. We're saying subscribe to it because that's awesome. That you'll be able to see that it actually is dark at the moment, but you might be watching this in the daytime, in which case it probably won't be dark. But also, Advice Takers and Habit Makers is also on Facebook. We'll get there eventually. And it's also on Buzzsprout. So that's our podcast. So check it out on there and look out for our next episode, which is going to be amazing. And Jen, thank you for joining us. And
thank you, Jen.
Jen, can you tell us quickly where we can find you? People are going to want to get in touch with you now because you're amazing. My
website is Get Well with Jen, and Jen is spelled GEN @gmail.com. And my email, and then getwellwithjen.com. And I am Genevieve Mlotkowski, Mlotkowski. Good Polish name.
Put your links in the notes.
Yeah, we'll pop it in there. And if anyone wants to find out more, they can get in touch with Jen. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Take care. Have an amazing one. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now.